Hey, all. Story time. So this one has actually been requested because there's a lot of stories about this specific incident um, because it's more of a recent incident, I suppose. I guess it's not too recent. I mean, it was uh, actually 6 years ago. 6 years ago in June. But so this is how I got a domestic assault on my ex-wife. Um, so it was about June, and this would have been after she abandoned me and the kids and then begged for me to take her back, and I took her back. And when I took her back, not a lot changed. No, I would say not much changed at all. She would still disappear at nights, and come to find out later, she was out doing drugs with her girlfriends and stuff. But I just got to this point where I was done. I was just done with her completely, and like I decided like I had to figure out how um, I was going to leave her, um, but be able to stay in the house and work through all of that. Um, I would sleep out on the couch every night. I wouldn't sleep in the bed with her. Um, I just really wanted nothing to do with her. Well, there was this one uh, weekend week that her sister came and stayed with us, and her sister was dating one of the guys here in town, and um, but we had people over, and like I was not nice to my ex-wife at this point because I didn't like her. I didn't like her attitude. I didn't like who she was. I didn't like what she did to our family, and like I just was not nice to her that night. We played bags in the backyard, had friends over, and me and her were partners, obviously. And like, I just wasn't nice to her. And like, everybody that was there noticed it. And I really don't care now. I didn't care then either. Um, but like, we played bags and uh, had some drinks with everybody, and um, I just didn't really talk to her throughout the night, and just was short with her when I did talk to her. And then people, left later in the night, and then I actually came inside and went to bed. I went and laid in bed, and then she came in and was like, "Who you been talking to all night?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You were on your phone." And I was like, "No, I wasn't." And she was like, "Yeah, you were talking to somebody." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I threw my phone across to her. So you can check it. I don't care. And she got up and went outside. So I got up and went outside. And I was like, "You asked me who I was talking to. I gave you my phone. Like, we know why you're worried about who I'm talking to, because like this is what you did for the last couple of years, because you were with all these other people." And when I walked outside, her sister comes walking up. She was out smoking a cigarette, and she throws the cigarette in my face and like chest bumps me when I walk out. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And her sister were both like yelling at me and stuff. And we ended up in the alley, uh, like yelling at each other. And I'm just like, "I'm just tired of you. Like, I'm tired of you." Yeah, I was really not nice to you in front of everybody for the night. I was like, there's been a lot of times over the last couple of years where it's been you. And we were yelling, and she was in my face. So I pushed her, and I pushed her twice. And then she was like screaming bloody murder. And like, like I just beat the crap out of her. And she must have hit her head on the door when I pushed her. And then when I turned around to walk away, I ran into the open door because like her car door was open. And so I grabbed it and I shoved it backwards because I was just like, I was pissed. I was pissed about this car too. And that's another story. Because she bought a car when she left us, when we already had 3 cars that I was paying for. And she just left the cars here and then went and bought another car and put more debt on her grandpa. And yeah, anyway, but I ran into the door and then pushed it backwards. And then I went back inside and laid down. And somebody was like, well, the cops are coming. I was like, great. I was like, well, it's Friday. I was like, I'm not going to jail today. So I left. And come to find out that somebody called the cops, and then she told them that I punched her, which didn't happen. And she freaked out and then went to the hospital, and she had a black eye. So I'm guessing when I pushed her, she hit the door because the door was there. I don't know. But she had a black eye. And so I just kind of laid low for the weekend. And then I went back to work that week. And they ended up calling me that week. And they're like, well, if you don't turn yourself in, we're going to have to come get you. And I was like, but she came back in. So that's the other thing, was that night she told him that I punched her. And then the next day, when after we talked, she realized that like that was a bad idea, and she lied. And so she called him and was like, no, that's not what happened. Like, we don't need to do this. But unfortunately, in Nebraska, it doesn't matter after you've made a statement like that. Especially like the county attorney, Rebecca, who's terrible. She like can hold the charges anyway, and she doesn't like me, so she held the charges anyway. So I went and turned myself in, and they gave me a bond, and then my ex-wife came and paid the bond and got me out. And that's what happened. She, for the next couple months, she actually went into the county attorney and was like, how do we make this go away? She's like, this isn't what happened. He didn't hit me. And like, how do we make this go away? And they're like, it's too late. You've already made your statement and we're pressing charges anyway. And then she would get high and then go back and be like, oh, well, he did hit me. And then they were like, well, make up your mind. And it actually went back and forth and back and forth. And then I ended up leaving her. And then by then the county attorney's office was like, well, we don't want to deal with her anyway. We'll just give you probation if you just plead to this. And I just wanted to be done with it. So I pled to it, which was stupid. Like, because, I mean, it's still wild to me that you'd believe a meth addict in the first place that was changing their statement over and over. But yeah, so that's what happened with that. I ended up doing probation for that. And yeah, I never hit her, never have hit her. I've restrained her and I've pushed her, but never hit her. And I definitely would admit if I were to hit her, because truth be told, I think she probably would have deserved it, to the things that she did to me and my kids and my family. So, never happened. So that's story time. I hope that answers some questions. But God bless. Be kind. Love y'all.